Welcome to another episode. I'm Brian, the Unskilled Commander. So, some of the episodes I filmed so far have been running really long, especially like the second episode is like an hour and 45 minutes. No one's going to see that or sit through that, and I apologize. So I got to try and find ways to speed things up without just going crazy stupid fast. And I want to explain what I'm doing because that's going to help me understand my interactions. But we're going to try and get things going a little quicker without explaining the commanders until I actually play them. So we've got Ukima and Kazor, so the deck is mainly about unblockable creatures getting through. It's not necessarily about commander damage, it's about a bunch of unblockables getting through and getting +1/+1 counters. Over here, we've got Brewback, which obviously is all about mill and just milling out all of my opponents, hopefully so that they end up with no cards in their library and lose the game on their draw step. Then, we've got Cascade. And finally, we have what I call the Legendaries, or the Commander deck. It's just a 5-color deck that I made on a whim for fun, and I kind of like it even though it doesn't work super great. It's just every creature in here is a legendary creature. And they do have decent synergies with each other. It's just because a lot of them are kind of more expensive, like 5 drops and higher, and even 4 drops. It can take a while to get going, especially because it is in fact 5 colors, and that's always a tough combo of colors to get moving quickly. And since I tend to, for some reason, like to make 5-color decks, I always find myself being slow on them. But we've already went ahead, and there's no we, it's just me. Speaking of the royal we, already rolled the dice, and player number 1 gets to start. So we're gonna draw for turn, play an island, tap the island for a Mist-Cloaked Herald. It's a 1/1, but it can't be blocked. Hence the premise of the deck. Pass turn. Draw a card for turn. We are going to play a snow-covered island over here, but that isn't... Oh, actually, we could tap just to put Grindstone out, because I just drew that. Pay 3 and tap it to put the top 2 cards of target player's library into their graveyard. If both cards share at least 1 color, repeat that process. Pass turn. Draw a card, play a forest for turn, and pass. Draw step. We're going to play a jungle shrine, which comes in tapped, goes for green, red, or white, and pass turn. Come on, gotta go quicker. Speed magic, but not really. We're going to draw. Untap, then we draw, because that kind of stuff matters. We will then play a forest for turn. And let's see. It's one of those things where it's just like everyone's open, there's no point. But mill, we don't like mill, so we're going to go ahead and hit for 1 and pass turn. All right, going to untap, upkeep, no upkeep triggers, we're going to draw. Play another snow-covered island, tap both for a sky diamond. It's an artifact that, comes in tapped and taps for 1 blue. So it's kind of like ramping an artifact. Pass turn. Draw a card. Then we're going to play an island for turn. But unfortunately no 2 drops. And this is only a 3-color deck. Red, blue, and green. So you would think this would go faster, but right now I can't get to the ramp spells yet. So we're going to pass. Draw a card for turn. And we're going to Seaside Citadel. Comes in tapped, but it goes for, green, white, and blue. Now, nice thing is, if I have I just drew a Path to Exile, and I do have 1 open white mana, so if someone plays something super crazy somehow early, or I can sit on it and use it later on. So we're going to pass turn, untap, upkeep, draw, then we will play a swamp. So I've got all 3 of my colors out, and I will use them to play my commander, Ukima. Now, here's a question. Do I automatically use the... Because there's no guarantee where this is going to go, but it is going to be commander damage, and once Kazor comes out... Now, that's true, too. I mean, obviously, he can't attack right now, because he is... sorry, I should be explaining the commander. One half of this partner team says, Ukima can't be blocked, and when he leaves the battlefield, it deals X damage to target player, and you gain X life, where X is its power. his partner, Kazur, says, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now, as you can see, that's the point. I got a bunch of unblockable creatures in this deck, and they're all supposed to just get through and slowly start building up counters over time. Obviously, commander damage with Ukima is a great way to win, but that's not the focus of the deck. I don't have like swords and equipments and stuff to put on Ukima. It's just about beefing up everybody, and I have like one-off spells, instants and stuff that will temporarily beef somebody up or give them lifelink or death touch or something like that. That's kind of how I built this one and how I wanted it to go. But I think this early on, well, from that standpoint, this is a threat. But if he starts bringing out Bruvac and starts milling, that could also be a problem, because I could mill through all of my good creatures and or lands to play those good creatures. And we don't know where any of this stuff is going. Nothing is a combo piece just yet. But, well, at least that any of these characters know about. So, you know what? The better play is to hold it, because if I counter this when it comes out, that's the main piece of it. And plus, it's a 4-drop versus 3. The commander tax is more important off of this. So we'll let that go through. And then we're going to go ahead and unblockably ding Bruvac again for 1, because we don't want to mill. We pass turn, and Bruvac says, well, I don't care what you want. You're going to mill. So we play another snow-covered island. We are going to tap all 3 and play Bruvac. Now, once again, do we stop Bruvac with the Path to Exile? And sorry, the Path to Exile is not like a counter spell, so you have to wait till they hit the board, so any cast triggers would still resolve. Thankfully, none of these creatures really have cast triggers. But do we want to stop Bruvac? Because if I start using this on my next turn, let's say, that would, mill, thanks to him, he says if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. Grindstone says you pay 3 and tap it to mill 2 on somebody. That would now be 4 cards. That doesn't seem so scary, but over and over again it could be. But again, do we really want to bother? Say, I know I have something very good in my hand on next turn would really hurt the table, but that character doesn't know that. And I think he might be concerned with the +1/+1 counters and stopping Kazur. I'm gonna let it go. We're gonna see what happens. I think that's a bad move, but well, from that standpoint, from his standpoint rather. So all right, we draw a card. We're gonna go ahead and play a mountain. We'll try it. We'll go and tap all 3 to play this commander. So now, that Path to Exile's got 3 really good targets out. Well, it will if the net comes out. So, Averna, the Chaos Bloom, says, as you Cascade, you may put a land card from among the exiled cards onto the battlefield tapped. Do this after the last card is exiled, but before deciding whether to cast a non-land card. I know there's like better Cascade commanders and stuff, but I just really liked it. I drew that card out of a pack, and I just thought it was cool. It looked cool, and I like the idea of having it be ramp. Plus, it's only a 3-drop commander as long as you get one of each color out. Here it is, turn 3, out my commander, and I have a Cascade card in my hand, I believe. Yes, but it is pretty expensive. It's a 5-drop. But the point is, as soon as I get a low, a Cascade I can afford, play it, ramp, as long as I hit a land or 2. And that just felt like it'd be fun. Again, this one's like, okay, I think it's one like A game maybe. And it's just that the Cascade cards tend to be, more expensive. Plus, real Cascade decks are 5 colors, surprisingly enough, because that's the only way to have a lot of them. This deck has as many Cascade cards as I could fit within those 3 colors, and that made sense for the deck. So I think I cut a couple, like 2 or 3 or 4, but otherwise the rest of them should be in here, and unless something was like crazy expensive. So, pass turn. So we untap, upkeep, draw, we're going to play a Plains Return to be able to keep playing that, having that Path to Exile on deck. But we're going to tap for red and blue, or red and green rather, sorry, to play Bard class. Legendary creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on them. And then you can level it up to do more stuff, but we'll deal with that if I ever decide to level it up, or if we actually get to the point where it's allowed to. Pass turn. Now here's where it gets dangerous, because now Legendaries is defenseless, where everyone else has at least one creature, if not their commander. And as you can see, that's kind of the point with why it's not the best deck, even though it's a fun deck. It's got so many fun, crazy good creatures in there, because pretty much every creature in there could be a commander of its own deck. That was the point. So we untap over here, we draw, and we're going to go ahead and play a land for turn. Now, I have some other stuff that I would like to play, but obviously, the way, to get real value, you got to play Kazor. But then, as I said, that's what we've been waiting for. So in response to Kazor hitting the battlefield, going to tap a white and play Path to Exile. So, of course, that's the super pretty full art Path to Exile, but it doesn't have the verbiage. I believe Path to Exile is the one where it's like you go get a basic land. So this gets countered, or this gets exiled rather, so it just goes back to the command zone, because I can do that. Using a cool shield dice to denote it costs 2 more mana to play now. And I believe I get a basic land and put it on the battlefield tapped. Because Swords to Plowshares, you gain life equal to the power of the exiled card, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, let me know in the comments. Although, it'll be a while before I can read that, but yeah. So we'll put a forest into play, tapped. So, of course, now that you did that, guess what? You kind of got me annoyed. So I'm going to go ahead and send Ukima at you. And one more time, we're going to send Unblockable guy at you, because now we've done it twice. We've started a trend. We got to keep up with it in order for it to matter. So you are going to take 2 commander damage and go down to 38. So then we pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play a snow-covered island for turn. And then let me think for a second. Okay, definitely going to do what I want to do, because just making sure I got a couple other cards that might be good, but we're going to go early. We're going to tap 3 for Fractured Sanity. Here's where things get bad for everybody else. Fractured Sanity. Each opponent mills 14 cards. But sorry, my commander's out, which doubles it. So now everyone mills 28 cards. Crazy that it's only a 3-drop, but it is 3 blue mana, which, in some cases can be hard to get out because you can't ramp blue as easy. But you can cycle it. And if you cycle it, each opponent would mill 4 cards. But nobody's got any counter spells. Nobody even has any open mana. And so this is something that shows, again, a weakness. Nobody has any counter spells. Now, that's got blue. This has blue. And they all got blue because they all have, that's a 5 color. There should be some sort of, and even white has Mana Tide and stuff, which I could pay for, but it would at least cost me more. Actually, I got 2 other mana I could do. But, it's like, how many counter spells do you put into a deck? I got other things I want to do. And plus, counter spells are so tricky to play because you have to leave mana open for them. So it's like, well, I could play a creature to block, or I could hold my mana for this counter spell in the chance someone plays something big like this. That, it's like the balancing act always gets me. Blue is absolutely my weakest color. But it resolves, so let's get to it. Everybody, milling 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Don't worry, I won't count for all of them. That was kind of dumb. Now, I'm not even going to bother really going through the cards in the graveyards because, unless I draw recursion, it's not really that important to me. All right, 28 over here. And last but not least, Door is Nothing's favorite that I don't think I've won a game with it, but I still love having it in a 5-color deck. Oops, 29, okay. That should be 28. These go back on the top. All right, look at that. That is a huge, huge hit for Mill so early on. That's pretty good. So Mill is already stepping up and getting prepared to win. We'll see how this goes. We're gonna pass turn. Oh no, it is Mill's turn. I could swing at you for 1 commander damage, but I'm just gonna let it go because I think I've made my point. Keep your stuff on your side of the dang field. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. We're gonna tap 1, 2, 3 for Land of War Visionary. Then I'm going to play Gruul Turf, bouncing the forest back to my hand. So that's kind of like a little double mana ramp, sort of. And again, I could attack with him against these two, but I'm thinking I'm going to swing him at Mill because that was a huge hit. I think Mill is now enemy number 1 from the entire table at this point. If I had milled a little bits here and there, everyone might have been like, whatever. Hitting everybody for 28 on turn 4 rather, kind of a big deal. So 4 damage, but I'm not going to block with my commander because it would die. So yep, I'm taking 4 down to 33 and 4 commander from Bruvac. I mean from Averna. Pass turn. Okay, legendaries, we gotta step up the game. Well, let's see, we're gonna play this island. You know what? We're gonna try and slow things down from my side of the board at least. We're gonna tap a blue and 2 others for propaganda. Each turn, each creature cannot attack you unless its controller pays an additional 2 for that creature. So a little bit of a pillow fort going. We'll see how long that helps. Pass turn. So we're gonna untap, upkeep. No upkeep triggers, draw. Well, might as well. We'll go with Evolving Wilds, Crack-a-Lack-a-Sack-It for an island. Comes in tapped. Again, I know some of you may be cringing that I'm doing it on main phase 1 and not waiting until, Legendary's end step to do it, so that it immediately untaps on my upkeep, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care at that point, It's like, it's fine right now. We're going to then play 1, 2, 3 for another Land of War Visionary on this side of the field. So we got ourselves a little bit of ramp to help make sure that we can definitely pay next turn for Kazor, but we've got a little extra, and if I play a land next turn, that kind of stuff. Might be able to drop a 2-drop or something. So we're going to go to combat. I think... See, here's the thing. When you've got commander damage on the board, it's dumb to try and spread it out. I could attack both of them into Bruvac because, oh, you did something jerky. I'm going to hit you for 3. But I already have 2 damage over here. That he's not doing anything, so to attack him again would be kind of unnecessary at this point, because we do have a pretty big target that hurt everybody. So I guess this time it does kind of justify it. So we'll swing both over there. Now we've got 4 damage from that commander and 2 damage from this commander, and you're going down to 30 life. This is kind of looking like another Toxtrol situation from the other game, doesn't it? Somebody big comes out, makes one massive move, and everyone just beats it down. But, I mean, that's Commander. That's multiplayer. You gotta play smart. You can't, like, why destroy him first and then probably die on my turn just so they can win? You gotta, like, everyone focuses on that. Give them a chance to try and play some Magic and actually play their cards. Again, though, you can see where this needs to be faster. You know, I've got good mana rocks in there. They need to be coming out with those first couple cards to ramp up enough, because Ramos, as the commander, he says that whenever you play a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on him for every color in it. So the idea is play him on when you get 6 mana, whatever. Play him when you get 6 mana, then start dumping out like these cards, really, and then build him up, and then you can, you know, subtract out the 5 +1/+1 counters to get what's called double Wooburg, which is double one of every color of mana, which then you can use to cast other spells. So it really helps to get him out fast, but whatever. So we did what we could over here. Pass turn. Let's see if Mill can keep the craziness going. We're gonna draw. Okay, see, I have now 2 counterspells in my hand. So if someone tries to go after Bruvac, now I guess I need to keep that open. Or, I guess at this point, see, what's the better play? Leave 3 mana open for a counterspell, or use 3 mana to tap Grindstone and get everybody for 4 again. Or use 3 to play a creature to help block. You know, it's like, that's the problem with counterspells. All right, I'm going to, you know what, I'm just going to do this. We're going to go 3 for Burnished Heart. I want a blocker so that I can stop taking so much damage. It'll only last once, but we'll see. There's nothing I have that can, other than that, but we don't have enough mana, so we'll pass turn. See, I'm being nice, guys. I'm not doing anything this turn. We don't care. You're the devil. Kill him. Untap, upkeep, draw. Gonna play that forest back again. Then, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. You know what? I can do that. Ooh, okay. Let's see. What's a good target? So what we're going to do is we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Natural Reclamation. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's got Cascade. So Cascade triggers first. So we're going to go exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less than this. So we're looking for a 4-drop or less. And there it is. See, again, the whole point is to go through a couple lands and ramp, but I go right into a 4-drop. Okay, I cast it, that's cool. I mean, that is technically mana ramp too, so that's okay on this particular situation, but it would have been nice to have like a land and then like a 4-drop creature that does something good, or maybe a 4-drop creature that also has Cascade, because then you would go into that. But okay, we did it. That comes into play. You may cast it for its, without paying its mana cost. So I cast Sisay's Ring. Then Natural Reclamation resolves. So I get to destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Now, I don't really care about those enchantments right now. That dude's not doing anything. I could blow up the Burnished Heart or the Grindstone, because that could become an issue at some point. You don't even have any artifacts or enchantments, so there's nothing to worry about over there. So it's going to be on Bruvac's side, justifiably so. The question, the question being, which thing do I blow up? I guess the smart move is just Grindstone, because while granted, having the blocker gone would be nice, I think we gotta get rid of the potential mill. So it's probably not much of a, it's probably a no-brainer. So we do that, and we do now technically still have 3 mana open. Is there something we could do for that? We actually do. We can actually tap Sisay's Ring for 2 and play Mind Stone, which taps for 1. And I can pay 1 and sacrifice it to draw a card if I am in a situation where I'm top decking and I need some card draw. Now, I don't want to swing with either one of these because the Burnished Heart can actually kill them. So we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Again, there's no reason to come over here and smack. It's kind of just like insulting at that point. If you're just like killing somebody that has absolutely nothing on the board and no blockers, it's like when there's actual threats, that always kind of bugs me. It's like, I get it, but at the same time, they're not playing Magic. They're not, how are they having fun when they've got like 2 things on the board? And they've got 3 creatures and you've got all this and that. Let them have a chance to build up before you worry about them. So we draw a card for turn. We're going to go ahead and play, pardon me, Crumbling Necropolis. Comes in tapped and does blue, black, and red. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mana to work with. Yeah, let's try that. Let's go ahead and tap a green and a red to up. We're going to use this cool New Dimension Comics dice to go to level 2, which says legendary spells you cast cost a green and a red less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay. So you can't use it to get rid of, like, I wouldn't help me with casting Ramos, but a creature that's a red, a green, and like 2 blue or something would now just cost 2 blue. But unfortunately, there's still nothing else we can do, so we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Alright, that's cool. Yeah, we'll go with Yawar Island Refuge. Comes in tapped, but I do gain a life off of it when it comes in, so that's always helpful. And then we're going to go ahead and tap all 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to recast Kazor. Now we can start getting some good counters. So once again, we're going to go swinging into you. So right now it has to deal damage first, so it doesn't increase the attacks right now. So you're only taking 3 damage down to 27. But this goes up to 4. And next time, because now, using some fun Spidey dice, boom, counter. Oops. Boom, counter. So now it's going to start getting some commander damage in there. That's all we got, so we're going to go ahead and pass turn. All right, Mill. You came out of the gate swinging, but now you're not doing too much. You need some more Mill cards. Ooh, that's an interesting one, but that is not something that we're going to need right now. Yep, that's not something we need to worry about right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 mana. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and tap 3 and actually sacrifice Burnished Heart to get 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield tapped. Now, this may be a risky, stupid play, but I need some mana ramp, and I also need to get some shuffling in here so that maybe we get some mill cards showing up. But more important than that, I do have a card that relies on more mana. Give you a window into it. I've got Drown in Dreams. It costs 3 and then X. If I have my commander, which I do at the time, I can choose both of these options. Target player draws X cards and target player mills twice X cards. So at the time, I would have been like 2. Who cares about that? But 1, 2, 3 now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can draw 4 cards. Someone's going to mill 8 cards, which would be 16 with him out. So that's what we want to do. Pass turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Okay, we're going to play this mountain for turn. Now we've got a lot of mana. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 mana. That's pretty sweet right now. And we got ourselves a good target for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, actually, 6, 7. We need 2 green and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Annoyed Altasar. It is a 6/5 with reach, trample, and cascade. So on the cast trigger, we cascade for 6 or less. Son of a... Okay, well, we just cast a Pilgrim's Eye. When that enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle library. Okay, kind of ramp, sort of. Let's see, we do actually need another island, so we're going to get this island I just found, put it into my hand, shuffle library, because that is going to resolve first. That ETB, as it's called, enter the battlefield trigger. So that resolves. Then the Cascade finishes. There were no lands to play, unfortunately. And now we have this really big creature on the field. Pretty nice. Now, again, now you are kind of defenseless. So I will swing in with my Averna on you as well. And again, we can't. We know what we have in hand. We know what we want to do next turn. He's not going to block with Bruvac and let it die. So that's going to be another 8 commander damage from Averna. And 4 damage over here, going down to 23. That's pretty much all we can do right now, so we pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, we got some lands going. They're both the same kind of thing. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough to cast a commander yet. So we're going to have to do something else. I was kind of hoping to wait a little bit just to get the triggers from out the commander, but whatever. We're going to play blue, green, and 2 others for Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card with converted mana cost less than that spell, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast it, you put it in your hand. So it's kind of Cascade in itself. Then for land for turn, we're going to play Is It Boilerworks, bouncing back the island to our hand. So, which is one of the reasons why I had to play something, because I wanted to, bounce a tapped land, not just an untapped land and waste it. Didn't have to play it, but it's just better to use the mana at least if you're going to do it. Plus, now I do have a blocker. Pass turn. All right. My Unblockable deck is poised to start doing some stuff. A little later than you would want, but not bad. That probably won't work, but, well, let's try this first. We're going to go black and blue and 1 other to play Leyline Prowler. It's a 2/3. I could tap it to add 1 mana of any color, but it's a Death Touch lifelinker. And while it isn't unblockable, most people don't like to go up against Death Touch, so it might get through. And then gain some life off of it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So yeah, we're going to tap blue, 1 other, and 1 other to play Decoy Gambit. This isn't really going to work too well with Bruvac, but we'll see what else happens. For each opponent, choose up to 1 target creature that player controls, then return that creature to its owner's hand unless the controller lets you draw a card. So, obviously, I'm targeting Bruvac. Are you going to let me bounce it to your hand, or are you going to let me draw a card? Yeah, I need this, so you can draw a card. Sweet, draw a card. I'm definitely gonna go after your, annoying Altasaur, or whatever the heck that's called. Are you gonna let me bounce it, or are you gonna let me draw a card? Obviously I can play it again next turn for the exact same mana cost, but let me see. I don't think there's anything else I really need to play. I currently don't have any other Cascade cards in my hand. So I could play it again next turn and it wouldn't really do anything. Plus it is Cascade. So that's a very valid point. Maybe I don't want to target that in the first place. Because then you just get the Cascade trigger. No, I would target Averna. But even then that doesn't really hurt me. Because I can just recast Averna for 3 and it's still, that's fine. So yeah, I will let you bounce Averna back to my hand. Okay, you only got one creature. So I'm going to bounce that to your hand unless you let me draw a card. Man, I just played that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can play it again after I play Ramos, but now that's like 2 turns from now. And that would be kind of a waste of the mana that I spent to do it. I'll let you draw a card. Since the whole point last time of me drawing that card, or playing that spell, was I didn't want to waste the mana. So alright, draw a card, cool. Thanks guys, appreciate it. Moving to combat. Rinse and repeat. These two coming at you. Yeah, they're both unblockable. Nothing I can do about it, punk. 1, 2, 3 more damage from Ukami, up to 7. And then, so it's 3, 4, 5 total damage. So 3 to 20, then 18. All right, so Bruvak's getting pretty low. He could have won if he'd have gotten more mill spells out faster, but that's the way this is. So we're gonna, almost forgot my trigger. So these go up because they dealt damage, and then we're gonna pass turn. All right, Bruvak, bring the rain. Okay, did not get a land. So, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Drown in Dreams. I control my commander, so I get to do both. We're gonna target, I'm gonna draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are gonna mill twice 4, which is 8, but it doubles again, so that's gonna be 16 off of you, punk. Stop hitting me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oof. This is getting nasty. But that's not going to stop him from hitting you, dummy. What do you think? It's going to make him hit you more. This goes over here. And let's see. Oh, I can play a land for turn because I finally drew a land, so that's good. 1 less card to discard down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only have to discard 1 card. Ooh, yeah, we definitely want to keep that. We're going to go ahead and toss Endless Atlas for right now. And see if we can survive till the next turn and do some real damage. Pass turn. As if 28 cards wasn't real damage. Wait till you see what's coming next. Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw. Going to play an island for turn that we went and got. Then, obviously, 1, 2, 3 to replay Averna, Chaos Blue. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana to play with. So. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to tap a blue to preordain. Scry 2, then draw a card. 1 and 2. Yeah, we'll put this one on the bottom, this one on the top. Draw this one. I can't play it right now because of the mana situation, but I will be able to play it next turn. So instead, we're going to tap 1, 2, 3 to play Entrancing Lyre. Artifact. You may choose not to untap Entrancing Lyre during your untap step. What you do is you pay X and tap it to tap target creature with power X or less. It doesn't untap as long as this is tapped. So that's a great way to stop, an unblockable creature from coming at me with commander damage. I still have 2 mana open, which is not enough to play anything right now. Now, that cannot attack. That, of course, would not get through, but yeah, we're totally going to swing. You do have the most life, and you do have unblockables. Now, you don't want to, poke the bear, but I think I'm going to send a Pilgrim's Eye for 1 damage near at you, just to, keep you over there while showing you that I'm helping. Look, I'm helping. We're going to send a 6/5 with trample at you. So you're just going to go down to normal 40. No big deal. I see you, Verna, but I'm not super mad yet. Thank you. Now, again, can't sacrifice commander, so we just have to take 6 damage. Not cool. We're down to 12. And we pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, I almost forgot. That comes in with a +1/+1 counter because of... darn it, and it also costs 1 less. See? Triggers, people. Pay attention to your board. Yes, I did. So I didn't draw a card yet, so I'm going to draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. We're going to go ahead and tap all of it to play Ramos, who will come in. Oops, that was 38, I think. Or was it 39? 38, I think. Oh, because the 2, yes. Okay, so he comes in with a +1/+1 counter on him. Right off the bat, thanks to that. Now, what's my land situation? Yep, I'm going to go ahead and play Dimir Aqueduct, bouncing the plains back to my hand. So we can start increasing our ramp speed over here, which is really good. Although, yeah, I got some good cards. All right, so now, yes, I could swing over with the 3. Oh, almost forgot. Trigger. When you cast your first spell each turn, reveal top card of library. So Ramos is it. It's a land. If it's a non-land card with converted blah, 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 play it. If not, goes to your hand. Okay, that's cool. Got a land. And it's also getting cards off of my deck into my hand faster, so maybe this will be a really good creature. So, I hate to kill Bruvac before he gets to do the crazy good thing that's in his hand, but it is kind of a thing. Well, so that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 damage, which take that down to 5, 2, 3. So I wouldn't even kill him. And I don't like this setup either, or the giant Allosaur. So I'm not sure I want to kill him off right now. My position right now is a little shaky. Letting him do some, shenanigans with Mill might actually help me. So I'm gonna let him go. I'm not gonna attack. I'm gonna pass turn. Because even if I attacked, it wouldn't kill him. So we still get to see what's coming. But untap, upkeep, draw. Nope, just draw this one. Okay. Let's see. What kind of lands do I want to play? Well, might as well play a tap land because we're relatively decent on mana right now. So we're going to tap blue and something else for Suspicious Stowaway. Can't be blocked. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. Then we're going to tap 1, 2, and 3 for Latch Seeker. Latch Seeker is also unblockable. See where this is going. This is kind of what the deck is supposed to do. Now, of course, they don't have haste yet, so lots of stuff can happen, specifically a board wipe. I do still have 3 mana thanks to Leyline Prowler. But I don't need it because I'm going to tap 2 for Nature's Lore. Search your library for a forest card and put it on the battlefield, shuffle library. Boom, there's a forest as soon as I open up my library. Oh my gosh, my library is so small, guys. This is not cool. Shuffle it, put it there. Move to combat. Got to. Rinse and repeat ad nauseum. Now, we could like swing the board, so to speak, into him. We do have blockers from anybody else, but you know, blocking with these little guys is not going to do much, especially against that tramply guy. But then they would get counters, which would help us deal with everybody else. That's probably a good idea. So we're going to do that. We're going to swing everybody into you, which could also, well, I hadn't thought of that from that perspective, but that's fine. In a real Commander game, this character might have been like, hey, no, I will kill him because I got all these other creatures I'll swing. You swing and I'll swing out. We'll kill him. You know, it would be that kind of thing. But whatever, I didn't do that. So we've got, these are unblockable, so we have to deal with a 2-3, a 2-2, and a 3-3. Bruvac will block Kazor so that he doesn't get any counters, but that's all that can really stop. And thankfully, Bruvac won't die from it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Oh my gosh. That is 1 health. Holy crap. Yeah, if I'd have swung over there from Ramos' side, Bruvac would be dead right now. I didn't realize that. So then these guys get counters. Shield counter. Shield dice. Not an actual shield counter, because that is in fact a thing now. And then these go up to 3, 3. And we are poised to ready to start slamming into probably that dude with all these unblockables. Pass turn. Wow, this you know, Bruvac rarely wins because mill in a multiplayer game is supposedly pretty tricky, and it kind of is, but it also just paints a giant target on you, as you can see, and I'm playing against myself for crying out loud. So we draw a card. Interesting, but not really what we need right now. All right, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna tap 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4 for Maddening Cacophony. Kicked. Everyone's like, no, not that. Maddening Cacophony says each opponent mills 8 cards. If this spell was kicked, instead each opponent mills half their library, rounded up. Bing, bing. Oh, shoot. That's a game winner. I forgot about that. I was just thinking it was like mill half the deck. He doubles it, and since it's rounded up, right? Because if it's rounded down, if it's like 21 and 20 is, you know, halfway through your deck, you round up to 21. Oh my god. I hate it when I am stupid. But yes, rounding down is the good version. Because if you had 41 cards in your deck, half of that rounded down would be 20, so you'd still have 1 card left. Yes. So Bruvac says, you know, this says you're milling half of each of their decks. So I guess technically, we actually would have to, like, count the cards. Now that's just going to be kind of a waste of time, especially if it doesn't work on Kill Everybody. But I guess we kind of have to. See, this is the kind of thing that I should edit, but Unskilled Commander. 1, 2, 4, 9, 10. 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Why am I counting? Right? That doesn't matter, does it? Because it's rounded up, so it literally doesn't matter. Why am I counting? That just wins the game. Because you're an idiot. Yes, thank you. I'm aware. I'm aware. But that's it. Cool. So Bruvac actually won. Granted, it was against myself, not other players. I can guarantee you my normal friends group would have gotten rid of Bruvac long time ago, or they would have countered Maddening Cacophony. They would have had the perfect counterspell in hand and ready. That's always how it is. But there you go, guys. The winner of this match is Bruvac. The Granquillic, whatever. So yeah, cool. All right. And that was hopefully a pretty quicker game as opposed to what I've normally done, so that's also a bonus. But what do you guys think, huh? Bruvac did pretty well, especially with Maddening Cacophony coming out for the win. As we know, I should have probably killed him. I should have swung in with the little 3-4. He wouldn't have blocked. Well, he would have though, huh? Because it's only 3-4, it wouldn't have gotten through. So, I'm okay. I didn't screw up just to let Bruvac win because it wouldn't have mattered. Because he just came in this turn, he wasn't hasty. Yes, okay, good. So Bruvac functioned pretty much the way it was. You can see that Unblockable is functioning kind of what it's supposed to be. A little quicker would have been helpful. Although had, Kazor not gotten Path to Exile, it would have been faster then, so it's not too bad. Unfortunately, Legendary, man. I love this deck. It's one of the, probably one of the first, within the first 5 Commander decks I ever built. And I just cannot get it to do anything crazy good on a consistent basis. Because, look, it takes so long to get out the main guy. And of course it's the land base. I need to tweak the land base a little bit, but there's more to it than that, I'm sure. I'm sure everyone's thinking, get rid of Door to Nothingness. That's useless. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't want to fully optimize decks. I want a stupid fun card like that in there to win on occasion. What a great way to be like, yeah, Cascade won because of Door to Nothingness. Like, how crazy is that? It only hits one person, too. It's not like it's a board, like a table wipe. But, if it gets down to it, why not, right? This deck most likely has an Amulet of Vigor because Door to Nothing comes in tapped. How great would that be, right? You set it up, it's like, okay, back and forth, everyone else is dead, you got one player left, or maybe you can totally kill that, but you can't deal with this person. Nice. You play Door to Nothingness, it comes in untapped because of Amulet of Vigor, you take 5 counters off of them, boom, sacrifice it, you're dead, I swing into you, I win, oh my gosh. That would be such a fun feeling. It doesn't matter if it's like a bad card, But, so that's giving you a window into how I build things. Also, Averna. It had some Cascades, but as you see, 2 Cascades and neither one of them hit lands. Every other time you play a Cascade, you always hit like 50 other cards before you get something that's under the converted mana cost allowing you to play it, right? Everyone else that plays, Cascade, you see it all the time. It's like you go through like a good 3, 4, 5 cards and then you get like, oh, here's a Soul Ring I have to play. But for some reason, now that I chose something off of that, it's like, oh, you want to have a couple lands before the next playable card? Nah, bro, here it is right now. But, whatever. Again, what would you do to Averna to speed it up and make it a little better? I don't know. We need maybe more card draw to get better. Maybe card draw spells that could be, part of the Cascade, which would draw more. I don't know. But that's the game. So anyway, thank you all for watching. If you're actually out there, I appreciate it. I had fun playing these decks against each other. I did love seeing Bruvac win, especially on something like Maddening Cacophony. That's the kind of thing that you really want to go off. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you, saw some ideas. Maybe you learned something. Maybe got some ideas on how to fix your own decks. Because that's what it's about. See you next time.